Can we all be upstanding, please? Almighty God, we ask you to be present at this meeting to assist us in our service to the community through local government. We pray that our decisions will be wise, taken with goodwill and clear conscience. Amen. Acknowledgement of country. Townsville Shire Council acknowledges all the traditional custodians throughout the Shire. We recognise their continued care of lands and waters and their living knowledge and wisdom. We pay respect to elders, past and present. We are committed to listening and working together to help build a stronger and more inclusive society. Item 3, Councillor and Officers present at meeting. Councillors Whitehead, Wortman and Tolsha, and Councillor Anderson online. We have Ms Phelps, Chief Executive Officer, Mr Heritage, Director of Infrastructure and Environment, Mr Florence, Director of Community and Planning, and Ms Taylor, Director of Corporate and Organisational Development. Apologies and granting of absence. Councillor Pittman is still absent. 16th of March to the 2nd of May. This was improved, so he's not here yet. He's coming back. Item 5, disclosure of conflicts of interest. We don't have any. Item 6, confirmation of minutes. The minutes listed below, circulated to councillors. Following the meeting, confirmation of minutes are now sought. Minutes unconfirmed, ordinary council meeting, 25th of March 2026. We have a recommendation there. Councillor Whitehead.
I'd like to move that the minutes of the ordinary council meeting held on the 25th of March 2026 be confirmed.
We have a seconder. Councillor Wortman. All in favour? Bit of delayed response up there. Item 7, petitions and joint letters. We don't have any. Public question time. We have one public question. 8.1, submitter Sean Farrer. I'll ask our CEO to talk to that, please.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Mr Farrer is not present in the gallery today, and the Director of Community and Planning has already written to Mr Farrer in relation to his question.
Thank you. Seconder, well, that's that. Item 9, informal meeting of councillors. We have 2 records there, 2 workshop meetings on the 25th of March, 15th of April. We have a recommendation. Do we have a mover? Councillor Wortman.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to move that the information be noted.
And Councillor Anderson is the seconder. All in favour? Carried. Item 10, organisational improvement. I'd like to ask Ms Taylor to speak on this, and her is the Director of Corporate and Organisational Development. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. So the purpose of this report is to provide an update on the activities of the Corporate and Organisational Development team from the period October 2025 to March 2026. This report has been delayed. It's normally presented quarterly, but due to the workload following the January bushfires, it is now being presented for a 6-month period. There's been a lot happening in that time. We have launched an internal intranet for all staff, along with a policy handbook and register to facilitate completion of reviews of policies and development of policies, implementing a human resource information system, the Employment Hero. This was a significant project for the team to undertake, and we have officially launched that with progressive rollout of different modules to commence over the next 6 months. 2 audit risk committee meetings, development of a fit for work and drug and alcohol management policy and procedures, and training on those procedures has commenced. During January and February, there was a significant amount of work, particularly from our communications and engagement team supporting the bushfire response in terms of streaming briefings to the community, etc., newsletters to support the recovery efforts. Preparing the budget for the 2026-27 budget period is underway, progressing the setup of the Sky Trust safety information management system, to mention just a few. So the recommendation is that the report be noted.
Thank you, Ms Taylor. Any questions or clarifications from the floor, Ed? Yes, councillor Warman.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Just on the communications front, like during the bushfires, the feedback I got, I thought the community were very happy with the information that was provided, and the community meetings that were held were streamed. Is that the feedback you've received too?
Yes, so through you, Mr Mayor, yes, the ICC in particular made mention of their appreciation for the cooperation that they got from council to make sure that those briefings worked well and that the messages got out to the community, as well as feedback directly from the community. So yes, aligned with that.
Yes, councillor Warman.
Just on the drug and alcohol management policy, I mean, we all agreed that it was necessary. How's it being received?
Through you, Mr Mayor. So the consultation of this particular policy, given the potential for, I guess, some negative feedback, the consultation has been quite strong. We had at least 3 consultation sessions with staff. So 2 with there was 4. 2 with the Employee Consultative Committee, where employees have the opportunity to come along and provide their feedback on the policy and the procedure, as well as the Occupational Health and Safety Committee. So there were 4 separate meetings where staff got to have their say on aspects of the policy. So broadly, they're very supportive of the policy because it helps to protect them from anybody working in an unsafe manner that might affect their health and safety. So by and large, they've engaged with the process of the consultation and they're supportive of the policy.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Anderson, you had your hand up. You put it back down.
Thank you. Yep.
All right, thank you. We have a recommendation for us. Do we have a motion? Councillor Whitehead.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. I'd like to move that the report be noted.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Anderson.
Thanks, Mr Mayor.
Would you like to speak to the motion?
Just to say, I think, you know, what a great effort the team's done over that period with fires and the extra time and effort that's put into the actual process of getting that communication out to the community, but also then through moving into recovery and stuff as well. The workload has got a lot higher, but we've also then been able to still do the business as usual, which is a credit to the team. And so just a thank you really to the team for all their efforts in a difficult circumstance.
Thanks, Councillor Whitehead. Councillor Anderson.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Just the same as Councillor Whitehead. They've done a great job, and it's not easy when you're trying to juggle your normal everyday job along with extra. So good on them. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Anderson. I'd just like to say something that the diversity of the roles at this level is huge. When you go from here to here and just the range of things that are on your mind, it's a credit to you that you get everything done and do it so well. Well done. Councillor Warman.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah, totally agree with my fellow colleagues. Big thank you to the staff. We all know the bushfire emergency was an emergency, and a great effort by staff to get all this done. With as Councillor Whitehead said, the recovery of the bushfires is ongoing.
Yeah, thank you. So I'll put the motion. All in favour? Carried. Item 10.2, quarterly performance reporting graphs. Again, I'll get Ms Taylor, Director of Corporate and Organisational Development, to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. So the purpose of this report is to provide a snapshot of key information to the councillors, noting that the attachment was omitted inadvertently from the agenda. It will be included in the minutes to the meeting and has been provided to the councillors. I'll take it as read and invite any questions on that.
Thank you. Any questions or clarifications? No? Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a mover? Sorry.
We have a recommendation.
We have a recommendation. Do we have a motion? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that's what I said.
Just go ahead.
Councillor Anderson.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. I'd like to move that the report be noted.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Whitehead. Anyone like to speak to it? Councillor Anderson?
No, thank you, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Whitehead? I'll put the motion. All in favour? Carried. 10.3 is action sheet report. Who do we get? We get you.
Yeah.
We get our CEO.
Thanks,
Ms.
Mr Mayor.
Phelps?
Councillors, I'm pleased to advise that all resolutions from the March council meeting have been enacted.
Yeah. We need a motion.
Yep.
We have a recommendation. We have a motion. Councillor Whitehead. Walkman, I'm looking at you. I've said it.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. I'd like to move the report be noted.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Whitehead.
I thought Councillor Whitehead got better looking for a while.
And dinner.
Yeah.
Sorry. We have a, would you like to speak to the councillor?
No, I'm all good.
Whitehead, Walkman. We have a motion. All in favour? Carried. Item 11, community wellbeing. There's no community and wellbeing reports. Item 12, asset management, Philby Lane. I'll ask our director for infrastructure environment, Mr Heritage.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. The purpose of this report is to seek council consent to provide legal access to a property at 6658 Murray Valley Highway in Kuitong. The dwelling at this location, Kuitong, was destroyed during the 2026 bushfires. In order for the landowner to apply for a planning permit to rebuild the dwelling, the property must have legal access via a government road. The Department of Energy, Environment and Climate, DECA, has requested council's consent to provide a creation of a road to provide the legal access to the property as shown on the plan that's been attached. The current access to the property is via Philby Lane, located approximately 5 kilometres west of the Kuitong Township. While this access is maintained by council twice annually, it does not lie within the existing government road reserve and therefore does not constitute legal access. Although there may be alternative access routes, these access routes are not viable and considered practical for purpose. And then as per the recommendation.
Thank you, Mr Heritage. Any questions or clarifications? Councillor Walkman.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. Look, I just note in the report that all the costs associated with the road proclamation will be covered by bushfire recovery, and it's great that we can utilise those funds in this way.
Thank you. Any other clarifications? No. So we have a recommendation. Do we have a motion? No. Councillor Walkman.
Thanks, Mr Mayor. I'd like to move the motion as presented.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Anderson. Would you like to speak to the motion, Councillor Walkman? No. Councillor Anderson.
No, thank you, Mr Mayor.
So we have a motion. All in favour? Carried. Item 12.2, Wombat Gully Road. Again, I asked for our Director of Infrastructure and Environment, Mr Heritage.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. The purpose of this report is to seek consent for the integration creation of a section of Wombat Gully Road, Mitamita. Government road over unreserved Crown land, and for a corresponding road discontinuation and land exchange with adjoining property owners. This has been in our system since 2004, so it's been a long time pulling the pieces together. So Wombat Gully Road, Mitamita, was formerly part of the Amio Highway and is, for the most part, a government road. Following the rerouting of the Omeo Highway along the Mitamita River flats, the former highway alignment was renamed Wombat Gully Road and now provides access to several freehold properties. The eastern section of Wombat Gully Road from the Omeo Highway is now overgrown and impassable. As identified in the Department of Transport and Planning Survey General's Victoria's survey report, access to the existing government road is currently achieved partly via unreserved Crown land within Crown Allotment A39, and partly via adjoining freehold land with Crown Allotment A32. Before readjoining the existing government road further west, a further short section of the formed track also traverses Crown land A39. And as you can see, there's a lot of parcels that have to be pulled together into this report. Survey General Victoria has advised that there is no survey objections to the proposed road proclamation and land exchange, subject to the completion of required Crown survey to define the land hatched yellow on the provided plans. Progressing the road proclamation, road discontinuation and land exchange together will align the legal road status with the existing access arrangements identified in the Surveyor General Victoria's report and provide lawful access into the future. The recommendation is as provided.
Thank you, Mr. Heritage. Any questions or clarifications? Councillor Wortman.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Look, as the report says, and as the officer, as the director has stated, this has been an ongoing issue for a long time. It's great to get some of these things cleared up. And that road is access to a number of properties, so it was going to eventually, if someone had to sell or whatever. So it's great to get these things tidied up.
Thank you. Any other questions, clarifications? No, we have a recommendation before us. Do we have a motion? Councillor Anderson.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move the recommendation as presented.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor Whitehead. Would you like to speak to the motion, Councillor Anderson?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Just to say, it just makes sense. It's common sense. It's really good. So it's a shame it took so long. But thank you for all the work that's gone into it.
Thank you. Councillor Whitehead.
Yes, I have to agree with that. It's just tidying up stuff that comes up every now and then, and to get this over the line will be one less thing to have on the books to worry about. So a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll put the motion. All in favour? Carried. Item 13, land use planning, Toolangatta Estate proposed street names. I'll ask our director, Mr. Mark Flores, Director of Community and Planning.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the Toolangatta Estate development has been a project probably 40 years in the making, and this report indicates that the development is coming to a position where it can actually happen, and part of that is for council to consider proposal from the developers around the street names to be included in the development. The developers have presented a theme that connects with the Toolangatta being a town that moved because of the creation of water storage, and connected that to some other towns in the world that have experienced the same event. There's also the proposal connects really strongly with the regional migration post-war, post-Second World War, which saw a lot of migrants come to the area and contribute through labour in some of these major projects, with Lake Hume being one of those. So the proposals as presented really build on the theme of towns that have moved across the world, and also connects really well to the region itself. So it's an opportunity for council to put those names forward to the public for comment, And so the recommendation is as presented.
Thank you, Mr. Florence. Any questions or clarification? No, I have one. I think the naming of these streets is very, very fitting for where the town is. And I'm sure that not everyone will agree with that, but that's the process we go down. But I fully support it. Just my comment. We have a recommendation before us. Do we have a motion? Councillor Whitehead.
I'd like to move that the Tlangata Estate Street names proposal be placed on public exhibition for a period of 30 days and submissions be invited, and submissions received during this time being considered and reported to a future council meeting with further recommendation or recommended actions. Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Walker. Yeah, would you like to speak to it?
Oh, yes, through you, Mr. Mayor, that to be quite frank, I probably didn't see this as when the first arrived at council, the theme. I probably didn't understand the connection quite as well as I do now, and I think the connection with the town that moved and other towns from around the world with a similar story to tell from dams being built is the reason these towns have moved. And so I think it really puts Tlangata on the world map as well in regard to this. And I think it's a really clever way of naming the streets. So thank you. Supportive.
And then would you like to speak? Yep, Councillor Walker.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, totally agree with Councillor Whitehead. And as the director mentioned, we're edging closer and closer to what we want, the estate, and it's been a long time coming. And I really look forward to the community's feedback on this. With the background information about towns that have moved because of water storages being built, I think it'll be interesting to see what people feel about that.
Agree. So, anyone else? Yeah, we're all good. So I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Carry. That's the forestry report. James. Right, item 14, environmental sustainability forestry report. We'll ask Jamie Heritage, our Director of Community and Planning. Oh, sorry. And infrastructure and environment.
He's a busy boy.
That was last one.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The purpose of this report is to provide a biannual update on forestry and related activities, including a summary of timber harvesting that has been conducted on private land across the Shire. Large areas of pine plantations are spread across the Shire, located within state forests as well as on private owned land. Where timber harvesting operations occur on private land, council is responsible for ensuring compliance, basically. Council has, since December 2025, 6 harvesting operations have been inspected by the Technical Officer of Environment. Major harvesting operations include those conducted by HBP, AgriWealth and Southern Forests. Council has received 33 timber harvesting plans since December 25. Management of introduced plants and animals. HVP have conducted blackberry and feral deer control programs. Council's technical officer has requested and is awaiting cost estimates pertaining to the damage loss in production caused by introduced plants and animals. The Walwa fires is the big one to note here, councillors. The Walwa fire affected approximately 10,000 of 13,000 hectares. So that's 77% of pine plantations, and caused damage to roads and bridges used to haul harvesting timber. Salvage operations began immediately upon roads being declared open. In the period December 25 to April 26, 1,662 hectares of plantation has been harvested, producing an estimate of 577,000 metres cubed of timber. Of this, only 6,500 1.1% of the volume was planned, and 98.9% was harvested in salvage operations. The following information was provided by HPP Emma Goa. Salvageable stock, approximately 35 to 40% of the plantation area was identified as salvageable. In relation to current customer commitments, progress on salvage harvesting, to date 8% of the identified stock has been harvested. The timeframe: it is unlikely that the full salvageable area will be harvested due to current market conditions and timber degradation over time. Salvage operations are currently planned to continue until December 26, with any activity beyond that timeframe expected to be unplanned or opportunistic. Replanting program. Replanting of approximately 2,400 hectares is planned for the current season. Full re-establishment of plantations is anticipated to take approximately 5 years. Support requests from Tauranga Shire. Immediate support includes road network security and road maintenance to accommodate sustainable high volume timber haulage for plantations onto council roads. Recent storm events have impacted key infrastructures as well, and clarity regarding council's infrastructure priorities would assist recovering planned. And Emma's comments from this is Tauranga has been very responsive to helping us get into our salvage operations post-fire, and HPP are highly appreciative of their support. I'd just like to read the last bit of risk and officers' views, councillors. From the risk point of view, heavy forestry activities due to the recent fires has placed considerable strain on council's assets due to the abnormal requirements for plantation owners to salvage timber stock where possible. This is placing considerable wear and tear, damage to council roads and bridges. Council staff are working with the plantation owners to reduce this where possible. Working together is keeping this to a minimum for the short term. Long term could present a risk to council. Plantation owners will have to consider the viability into the future, with HPP aiming to have the replanting program completed within 5 years. The present challenges for weed control in the first 5 years, along with juvenile stock maturing together, that could potentially require harvesting in large quantities, therefore presenting a future asset issue for council. It is the officer's view that the forestry operations are progressing across the Shire in compliance with legislative requirements. Council's oversight has ensured that the appropriate standards are maintained for commercial timber harvesting operations on private land. The recent fires have prevented a unique situation that will align future harvesting efforts with a large quantity of trees maturing in a 24-year cycle being concentrated into a narrow window. This may present an opportunity to consider the strategic maintenance of assets into the future, reflecting the cycle. The impact of the bushfires may also present a strategic opportunity by opening up fresh corridors for infrastructure, such as a high country rail trail, and those discussions have been opened up with HPP. The recommendation is the report be noted. Thank you.
Any questions or clarifications? I'm sure there will be. Yep. Councillor Whitehead.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. So a little concern, I guess, especially our state roads are in poor condition already with the extra amount of truck movements that will occur through the removal of these pines. Have we had any indication from the state that they may be looking to up the amount of service provided to those roads?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we've actually got a meeting with the state regional director shortly to have further discussions on this. Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions, clarifications? No. All right, we have a recommendation for us. Do we have a motion? Councillor Waldman.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to move that the report be noted.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Whitehead. Would you like to speak to the motion, Councillor Waldman?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to thank the officers and the director. It's a comprehensive report, and it's very informative, what's been happening. I was very pleased to hear during the report that the timber plantation owners are very happy with council working together to get a good result, because we know they're suffering a lot from this major disaster, bushfire disaster, and it's great. We want to help them as much as we possibly can, but we've got to look after our assets as well. But no, it's great to see us working together.
Thank you. Councillor.
Yes, if I could, through you, Mr. Mayor, it's actually hard to fathom that 77% of your your plantation is lost in a matter of a day or two, and when we're talking the amounts of timber that have been harvested already, 1.1% of the volume that's been taken was actually planned to be taken. Like it wasn't a lot of what's going was not actually ready to be harvested, but they've now just got to work through and get what they can out of it. But it's as I said before, it's a challenging time with winter approaching, the amount of extra truck movements, and you know, I'm convinced we will have some challenges with our roads through the next 8 months. So ask people to bear with us, and we'll do our best. Thank you.
I just got to say, totally agree with what you're saying. Yes, there will be issues going forward. So I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. Item 15, economic and tourism development. There is nothing. Council reports. Any verbal reports? I have a mayor's monthly report, April. I'll just quickly talk through that. Water Industry Operators Conference, past life group that I was with. They asked me to be a keynote speaker, and I spoke about bushfires. I did a 20-minute presentation about being mayor, and 4 weeks in we have an emergency. A lot of the stuff there was relevant with the water quality downstream of the fire, and they got to treat the water back to drinking water quality, that sort of stuff. So that was well received. Councillor Anderson and I and recovery manager went to Kuitong together for a post-fire get-together and barbecue. Yeah, it was good conversation happening there. There was some robust conversation about everything that's happened, and it was really good to get together with everybody. Hume Region Local Government Network, my first one. It's great understanding for me that we aren't alone in this. Everyone has the same issues. There was a bit of talk down there of bushfires, so we had a good chat about that. Tallandoon Tennis Court opening. So when you're sitting in council office and you get this request, oh yeah, let's upgrade the tennis court, you think, wow, you know, and it was a fairly hefty, what was it, $500,000? 700,000. We turn up at the event, Councillor Wortman, Councillor Anderson and myself, and there's 120 people there. And it was a humongous big barbecue. It was a get together. There's a CFA shed there with another building that they utilises their tennis centre. And it was just an absolutely great night, and it was well patronised by everybody. And Roger Peters, there was a memorial set up for him. He was one of the guys that was fully supportive of it all. That was really, really good. Councillor Wortman?
Yeah, I thought the mayor the speech could have been a little bit more comprehensive.
It was like War and Peace. I think it was about 5 pages. And he holds the microphone, freezing cold, trying to turn a page. But yeah, it worked out all right. Yeah. And the last one that we're going to talk about, this one, is the Albury-Wodonga Health. It was about our strategist talking about if we need any support from legal advice, whether that could be done under this arrangement or another arrangement. We've got a meeting this afternoon that's going to discuss more about that. So after all that, I'd just like to, I'd like to move that the mayor's report be noted.
Happy to second that, councillor.
Thank you.
Mayor Colshaw.
All in favour? Carried. Urgent business. Do we have any urgent business?
Yeah.
We do. Councillor Waltman.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to move that we allow 2 items of urgent business to be debated.
Okay, thank you.
Just the heading for each of those, not the item.
Weimar Telecommunications Tower application.
And our second one from Councillor Whitehead.
The roads infrastructure.
Roads infrastructure. Okay, conditions. All right, do we have a mover?
Yep.
Yep. Seconder?
Seconder.
Yep. Put the motion. All in favour? Carried. All right. So Councillor Waltman, would you like to talk about your urgent business?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. I'd like to move that we contact our local federal member for Indi, Dr Helen Holmes, requesting assistance to secure an in-person meeting with the Federal Minister for Communications, Annika Wells, to explain the importance of establishing a telecommunications tower at Weimar, New South Wales, and seek a review of the Minister's decision in light of the recent bushfire emergency and the difficulties experienced due to the absence of telecommunications in the area.
Thank you. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Whitehead, would you like to speak to the motion, Councillor Whitehead? Oh, Mr. Councillor Waltman first, right.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Look, it's round 8 of the Mobile Blacks funding, federal funding, and I looked through the applications, and they, of course, they're right across Australia, and I couldn't see any other application that had 2 local government two local government areas that put up the same black spot, mobile black spot site, and we had Greater Hume nominated as their #1 priority, and Cowan Shire, and that disappoints me that that we haven't been funded. We had letter, and given when we put the application in, we didn't know we were going to have another bushfire emergency, and as we know, this January we were impacted dramatically again, and this is the second time in 6 years that, and this area has, because it's a major black spot, and it hampers emergency services dealing with the bushfires. And look, we had letters of support from so many different organisations, whether it be VicPol, New South Wales Police, Water Police, Ambulance Victoria, local members, CERT. Look, it is noted as a major black spot, and I'm very disappointed that it hasn't been funded.
Thank you. Councillor Whitehead.
Yeah, just to add to that a little bit, so it's one of the biggest black spots we still have within our municipality, and on a major thoroughfare that council's promoting as the Great River Road. I wouldn't like to say, but the road condition probably isn't that great at times on that state road, and the chance of accidents is quite high, and we do see quite a few accidents in that area. And then to put bushfires on top of that, as Councillor Waltman said, 2 in 6 years, that have both been affected by this actual area. I'd like to think that that puts a little bit more credibility to our application, and I support the meeting. If we could get that organised, it'd be great.
Yeah. I think it'd be great to go straight to the Minister, yeah? Canberra, have a chat. That would be great. So put the motion for that first. All in favour? Carried. Now, second item, Councillor Whitehead.
So I'd like to move that we write to the Minister for Transport in relation to the very poor and dangerous condition of the state roads within our municipality, seeking an urgent meeting and a commitment to addressing the poor condition of the state roads in Towong Shire, and the OzRAP ratings of Victorian roads be made available to our communities via social media and other suitable media channels.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Wortman.
Yep, if I, through you, Mr. Mayor, so the OzRAP ratings are a map of the state's road network of state roads, and they are colour coded to the quality of the road. And for Towong Shire, our roads are, I would say, the worst in the state. It tends to be, and I don't like to harp on this, but the further away from Melbourne we get, the colour seems to change the further away you get. And, you know, we actually have roads that require to be in better condition because of the terrain they travel. We have a lot of people coming out of Melbourne and different areas coming to visit the area as tourists, and the road condition actually needs to be in better condition. Also like to add that our Premier Jacinda Allen has just announced that Labor is slashing congestion and making our roads safer, but yet roads in Towong have been left out of that announcement. There was roads across the state that have been looked at and prioritised, but Towong hasn't been able to get on the list. So it's something that really concerns me as, you know, for community members in regional areas, you have to travel a long way quite often just to get services that you require, whether it's medical or whatever else it might be. So we don't have the options not to drive on these roads, and it's something that we just need to keep pushing to try and get a better support for. At our last council workshop, I was on my way home from the council meeting, hit a pothole, got a flat tyre, had to change the tyre, and that is all adding to costs that council has to bear through the poor condition of our roads. So, you know, I really think this is an important issue that we need to keep pushing.
Councillor Wortman, you want to speak for it? Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Totally agree with Councillor Whitehead, and I'm definitely supporting this motion. As Councillor Whitehead touched on, we're all in a cost of living, dealing with cost of living pressures, and any damage that happens to cars on roads now is an enormous burden on families. And as Councillor Whitehead said, to go to appointments, medical or whatever, we've all got to travel these roads, and the condition of them are quite bad. And it hasn't happened overnight. It's been a lack of investment in road maintenance over a number of years, and it's going to take a lot of money to get the road network back up to the standard we require. And we've really got to pressure governments for more funding, especially in rural and regional Victoria.
Thanks, Councillor Wortman. Councillor Anderson.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to be a little bit cheeky, but we went up to the festival a week and a half ago, and we came back to Tintulja, sorry, and I thought I might just count a few potholes on the way home on the River Road. So from Tintulja to Walwa, 35, Tintulja to Bellbridge, 51. So that's a total of 86 potholes on the road. That's not including the roadside where the tar meets the dirt. So, and some of them were really, really, you know, like you said, Andrew, you could do your tyre very, very easily, not to mention at night time. I have hit one of those on the way back from a meeting, and I was hanging on for grim death that I hadn't had a flat tyre. So it's really serious. So we just ask that perhaps they can meet with us and have a look at it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Anderson. Yeah, I'm just going to say, if you could put that map of roads in Victoria on our social media and website, people can understand that those roads aren't council roads, they are state roads. It's just another way of getting it out there that it's not always council's fault, the state of the roads. And I know for years and years, New South Wales always had worse roads than us, and it's totally changed. If you drive from here up to Bathurst, the road is pretty good. You drive from here to Ballarat and it's terrible. So yeah, just a comment.
If I could just, and it mightn't be technically allowed, but if I could add one more thing, you know, and with our social media, I would encourage council to be putting out that we need the community's help.
Yes.
So we would like the community to be reporting these and put where they can report that damage to.
Yeah. So motion, all those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Yeah, all right. Item 17, sorry, item 18, committee minutes. There are no committee meeting minutes. Council policies. 19.1, policies for adoption. I'll ask our Director, Narelle Taylor, Director of Corporate and Organisational Development.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So the policy adoption are attached to the report. So that's the procurement policy, the recruitment policy, the human rights policy, and road construction. The marked up changes are attached for two of the policies. Two of them have had significant rewrites, so the changes are not marked up. And the recommendation is that the policies as amended and presented be adopted, with the CEO authorised to make minor administrative changes where necessary.
So any questions or clarifications?
Recommendation.
Yeah, got a recommendation. That's for motion.
Yeah. So I'd like to move that the recommendation as presented, but without the inclusion of the procurement policy, and number two, the adoption of the procurement policy be deferred to the May Council meeting to allow more time to review the draft policy.
Do we have a seconder? Councillor
Thanks,
Anderson,
Mr. Mayor.
you're in. Would you like to speak to it?
No, well, I think it's there's just a couple of areas in the procurement policy that we'd just like to get some clarification on. And so just to defer that one for nothing too major, but let's get it right before we put it up.
Councillor Anderson, do you like to speak?
No, thank you.
I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. Item 20, sealing of documents. There are none. Item 21, confidential. No. I'd just like to, item 23, closure of the meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, sorry. Before
Sorry?
we do that 19.2, we have a motion there just to
Policies that are coming.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I missed one, sorry.
There.
19.2, we ask our Director. Yeah.
It's just presented for noting, but they might
Oh.
want to take that as read and just a motion to acknowledge.
I'll take these as read. That'll be your recommendation.
Yep.
We have a mover. Yeah, Councillor Whitehead.
I'd like to move that the policies tabled for review be noted.
Councillor Anderson's the seconder.
Thanks, Mr Mayor.
All in favour? Carry. Now, 20, younger document, there is none. Confidential, there is none. And item 23, closure of meeting. Thank you.
Excellent.